Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all. Myself Vaibhav. In this series of Getting to Know Visual Jforex, we will be starting afresh and this is an introductory series to make you familiar with the tool developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA for developing the algorithms using the Visual Jforex platform. If you see my trading platform here, you can see these algorithms which are running for past many days. Here there are three different algorithms which have been running on this demo account, and they do trade once in a while, and even in today's session there has been this trade open which has been opened by one of the algorithm. So here what I'm trying to say is that this Visual JForex tool is very helpful if you want to develop any algorithm to trade on the forex market. And as you can see, if we consider this the euro USD chart, and whichever way you want to trade and you don't have time, and you don't want to spend hours waiting on the trading opportunity to develop, there you can see that automated trading carries its own advantage, and there you can develop the algorithms which will be trading even when you are not in front of the screen, and it will execute the trades as per your desired criterions, the setups. Now if we see any algorithm under the hood, you will see this kind of code, and this is the code for one of the algorithm, and we have done this in our prior session, but then some of the requests start to come in that we should be doing a introductory part, and so we are starting this new series in which we will be looking into the components, and how we can make it easy enough for you to get started. So this is the code for one of the algorithm, and if you see here, you will need to be well familiar with the Java, that is one of the programming language through which we can develop the algorithms which will be then using on the JForex platform here. So this is the JForex platform of the Dukascopy Bank SA, and here if you want to develop these and run these algorithms, you can do that. But if it wasn't for the Visual JForex platform, then you will need to know the Java language, and then you will need certain amount of proficiency to develop any of the algorithm. But now, because of the Visual JForex, we don't really need to be well proficient in the programming, and we can with due efforts, of course. Once you will get familiar, it will be easier, but with due efforts you can start, and you don't really need to learn a new language to do that. So this is the bank's home page, the web page, where you can go and see for yourself the tools available there, and with the use of that you can start your own journey for the developments of the automated trading algorithm. So here we will get started, and we will see what we can do with the tools at our disposal. So this is the automated trading section, and here most of the things you will need for getting started and getting familiar are available, and you just have to do is give some time, browse through the page, and see what are your requirements, and most of the things are available here. As you can see, this is a brief introduction why traders choose JForex. So here you have these explanations, the criterions, and of course also the system requirements. So here you can see any operating system, Windows, Linux, Mac. So it doesn't matter which kind of laptop or desktop you are working on, it will work seamless. And then we have this okay, we will go one by one. So here you can visualize the strategy execution, and whatever is your idea, the logic behind it, you can try to implement it in the real time, and for that this is the tool. And you can choose to develop the algorithm using multiple currency pairs or CFD pairs. You just have to choose the different instrument and then design it accordingly. You can run the backtest on the historical data. So here, once you have developed any logic or any idea, you can see if it is profitable or not by doing the test on the historical data. So here the platform provides data for many years, so you can do the testing. And to make sure that most of the trading indicators are covered, the platform is also providing almost 180 indicators, and you can use these to develop your JForex compatible strategies. And here, those who are well proficient in the programming language, they can use integrated development environment, various Java IDEs, and that is something which we are not getting into. We will focus on the Visual JForex platform, and the market depth option is there. You can see and utilize the order book and see what can and what can't be the profitable way to go about it. So here you will need a demo account to do the testing, so you can open a demo account here. You will need to install and run the JForex platform. So for that you can get the initiation link here, and here you have the Java documentation page as well, so you can utilize these various links. Now I will explain to you the Visual JForex strategy builder. So here you can just expand this, and here we have these tools at our disposal. And if you have to go through the Visual JForex features, you can just have to click here, getting started. It will help you to get the platform initialization done. It is for the launching of Visual JForex platform online helper. You will get a lot of explanation and all the stuff which will help you in finding the answers to your questions which you will face while getting started, and when you start to develop your own algorithms. The video tutorials are also available, and also this series which we are doing afresh, this is wholly dedicated to help you on that front. Once you will get well familiar, you can also choose to participate in the strategy contest, and for that you will have also the option to win the prize money if you build a algorithm which is well profitable and certain criteria are met. And here to connect with your peers, you can use the Visual JForex forum also. So first we will see some of the features of the Visual JForex. So here it is, the Visual JForex features. You can run this short video of 45 seconds. So I will not play it. Okay, just we start and then.
Welcome to JForex Visual. With JForex Visual, you can build automated strategies in a matter of hours. The visual drag and drop system makes the whole process elegant.
I would suggest that you play it on your own. So this is the brief introductory video, and the features. As you can see, all the features of the Visual JForex platform are listed here. The most important of it is the easy development and understanding. You can just get started in around 30 to 40 minutes. If you spend some time, you will learn pretty quickly. It is not that complex. You can learn fairly easily, and the use is also fairly simple. And once you have developed the Visual JForex idea, the logic, you can also get its source code. So you can generate the JForex API strategy code. And if you see there are any problems in the execution, and if it is not getting compiled, You can easily find out the bugs and do the strategy debugging, and also you will be testing on the historical tester. So there you will learn many of the things and how the algorithm is executing. On the fly monitoring, you can see the flow, you can color code it, and it will help you track whether something is working or not. So you can do the monitoring as well. It makes it fairly easy. And to help you get started, you also can choose to use the repository. And here you have this option of going through the earlier examples and how people have developed. You can also access the forum, as well as you can even access the contest strategies developed by various participants in the community page. So you can use that as well. Standard appearance, it is fairly easy to understand, and the uniformity of this user interface is excellent. And as I said, you can also choose to select any of the earlier existing strategy which is available there. Most of them are free, and you can even choose to contact any of its owner if it is not freely available, and you can strike your own deal. And also, as I said, you can convert your strategies and make it one of the component, and then you can build it more complex strategies using that. So here we now go to the getting started page and see. And here some of the earlier video tutorials are also there, and you can access it. So here you will see the simple strategy example, introduction to visual strategy, strategy creation example, block introduction, variables, calculations. But these are fairly brief, so to do further explanation, we will be doing more advanced, more explanatory tutorials in coming sessions. So this is just the initiation phase. Now we head back. Let us now start the Visual Jforex. We'll launch it. You will need the Adobe Flash Player. So here, this is our Visual Jforex platform. You will need to sign in. You will need to first create the community account if you don't have any, and then you can use those credentials to sign in here. So here we have got this Visual Jforex platform to develop our algorithm, and we have these variables listed on the one side and repository listed on the other side. So this is the drag down menu. You can create a new file choosing this open draft if you want to choose a earlier file. And here, as I am a existing member and I have done a lot of work earlier as well, so I have these earlier algorithms which I can choose to open if I need it, and save draft. Once you will develop a new algorithm, you can save it. Import, you can import any VFS file here, and export, you can do the export in VFS as well as in Java, and this then you can use on the platform to run on the account, demo or live, whichever or wherever you want to run it. So here we have these tools at our disposal, and let us now go back again on the web page, and you can also sign up for a demo account, and then you can develop various algorithms on the Visual Jforex platform, and then you can keep it running on the demo account. So that is going to be compatible. Now we will see this portion, the online helper. If you run into any difficulty, you can choose to go here and see what are the things which are troubling you and try to get its explanation. So most of the components, the blocks are explained here. As you can see, the components, and here I would give you a brief introduction of what stands for the components. So here we have repository of various blocks, the indicators, the strategies, the components, and then all blocks are lined up here. And on this side we have these variables, and let me explain to you the variable first, as the variable is the building block of blocks. So we have to go into the article part, and there you will have the explanation for most of these variables and blocks. So here you will if now this is the data type, if you simply click on it, you will get the explanation for what is the applied price, data type, description. So you can get most of the explanation for any of the component of the Visual Jforex platform. Now here comes the variable. So here the variable is the unit is you can say a symbol given to a known or unknown quantity or information, and we will be creating many variables. Many of the variables will get created on their own. So you have both kind of variables, users variable and the auto created variable. Users variables are those variable which you create on your own. So suppose if you want to create a particular value or any calculation, or if you want to assign any value, so you create a new variable here, add new variable, you name it, you choose the data type, double, integer, boolean, string, date and time is long, the applied price. So you can choose these data types, and we will see these data types in details as well. And as I said, we have all these explained on the article forum, so you can even choose to go through all this. And then as I said, these variables can be of both type. There are some default variables as well. Default means these are kind of essential, and these need to be there for your algorithm to work. The account details will come in here, the account ID, account currency, equity, leverage, margin cut level, over weekend leverage, use of leverage, global account. All this data will be read in by the algorithm from your account, and then only it will trade depending on how you choose to configure these parameters. So all this explanation is also on the article side. So here you can see this, and this has been explained well, the naming, and this is a brief example as well. So here we have this, and as I tried to explain to you the data type of any variable. Now as you can see here, the chosen data type is double, so you can choose a different data type as well depending on your requirement. It can be of integer. While doing the stop loss and the target price, we need the data type to be integer. While doing some calculation using various pips for placing orders, you will mostly need the double. Date and time is for mostly related to the order validity. Boolean, the if conditional, if and else. If the condition is met, then a certain you can say setup will initiate, and and the flow will carry on. If it doesn't, if the condition is not met, then it won't work. So that's how you can do about it. String, the message type, offer side, instrument, period, command, state, applied price, signal type, emit type, position, and all the data types which are there are listed. So here you can even choose to explore this. Suppose if you click on this integer, you will further see all the description for the integer data type. So this is a number with data of 32 bits. So you can choose to access all this. We will not go into the details of all the data types, as that will take a lot of time, but these you can study, you can see what it is which is underpinning the Visual JForex platform, and that will explain to you its efficacy, and also at the same time its ease of use, and how the bank has made it fairly simple to use all these complex things, and at the same time you don't really need to really understand what's under the hood, but still you can use it pretty well, the way most of us are not really well familiar with the car engines internal working, but we can drive pretty well. So that's how the Visual JForex platform is. Though the its components and its various underpinning mechanisms are complex, but then you can use this graphical interface, and it's fairly easy, and that way it will uh, it will help you cut down on your learning time, and then you can simply get to the business, and you start developing. And suppose if you run into any difficulty, like as I said, if there is something for which you need the explanation, you can go back and you can access all these all these explanatory articles. As here you can click on any of these, and you will see what is that, and as it is you will get the explanation, and that will resolve your query, and then you can get back on the Visual JForex platform and continue your work. Here there is a signal, the data type which represents the trade signal output which the strategy generates, and it is used as a component in a base strategy. So here, once we go into the details, we will need to be coming back to these articles, and in today's session I am just doing this introductory, so we won't really look into this all this. As and when the need arises, we will keep revisiting all these explanations, and we will try to get ourselves well versed in all these technical jargons as well. Now let us again go back to the home, and here the documents are also available, the documentation. We also have the Visual JForex guide, and using this Visual JForex guide you can try to understand. Let me see what has happened. Okay, so we have this Visual JForex user guide, and this is revision 1 released in October 2016. So suppose if any of the further updates are missing, then I will cover those. But here we have this explanation done, and how it is supposed to work. All those things are listed, and the interaction, the sequence of the flow between various components, and how to go about it. You will get most of the questions you are answered by this guide, and it's a pretty handy tool. So here As you can see, it is trying to explain what is the Visual Jforex tool. And as I said, we can build, test, and run strategies and do it in a fairly easy manner, as we have these three components: the variable, the workspace, and the repository. And it will run on most of the platforms, the software platforms, and all the introductory stuff is also listed. But in tomorrow's session, we will now try to start and go in depth. So in today's session, we have now gotten familiar and also various mechanism available for us to rely on to go back to in case we run into any difficulty in understanding these components of the Visual Jforex platform. So now that we have most of the tools at our disposal, in tomorrow's session, we will try to learn its utility and how to design the fresh variables and also the use of components. So we hit on these particular components and we try to get started. And since today is the Friday, we will be taking a break for next 2 days, and then on Monday we will be back and we will try to hit the ground running. And let us see if we can get familiar with most of the components, and then we can also start building our own algorithms in due course of time. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section, and I would be fairly happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. See you on Monday. Goodbye.